What it do, bro? It's your boy DJ Sounds Great, and I'm up here in Spartanburg, Carolina with Casino Roulette. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, man, living the dream, dog. It's a nice ride up here. How'd you get started in music?
It might sound cliches, but man, I've been doing music all my life, man. I got started just off the fact of my mom's bought me and my brothers, the first album she bought us was the New Edition, Candy Girl, you know what I mean? And what really intrigued me about that record was that it was 4 dudes on that record that looked like me, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay. So when I played it, they were singing, you know what I'm saying? People don't know I started out singing first, you know what I mean?
No,
but
definitely no.
as I grew, my voice changed, you know, so I could no longer hold those notes like I used to, you know what I'm saying? So I had to figure out something else to do with my pen. And then Mama brought us another record, you know, which stained my brain, which was the LL Cool J album back in the days where it had the I Need Love on it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I saw that record, what intrigued me the most about that was he looked like me, but he looked cooler than New Edition. You know what I mean? And that intrigued me a little bit more. So as I grew older, like I say, I was singing, and then when the voice ran out, my brother, he was like, man, I rap. And you know, little brother always trying to emulate and imitate big brother. I started rapping, and the rest is history, you know?
Oh, wow. The rest is history. That's amazing, man. So where all has your career taken you?
Highs and lows. To be quite frank, it's taken me to the top, well, to the bottom, and then to the top. And what I mean by to the bottom is, for those that don't know, you know, I was in a tumultuous, near fatal accident, you know, with my brother Lil Scrappy. And prior to that, you know, I was shot 6 times close range. All this was entangled in the music, you know what I mean? So to say, where has the music taken me? It took me to the bottom, you know, with all those tragic, trauma-filled, you know, situations. And it's taken me to the top, to being in movies, on magazines, and on television. So music has been a roller coaster in my life, you know?
Oh, most definitely. As long as you stay consistent, everything will be all right.
That's what it's all about, being consistent, man.
So can you tell us about your very first performance? Like, did you know it's like, man, this is it?
My very first performance, I never forget it, because it's like every time I go on stage, I relive it. And it's so vivid because I can feel the butterflies in my stomach as I talk about it. My very first performance, I saw people in the audience that I knew and people that I didn't know. And it gave me a feeling that I never felt before, you know? And to this day, it's just like, they say when you smoke crack, baby, you know, and you never forget that first smoke, and you always try to chase that high.
I cannot relate.
So, I mean, I can't relate neither, but to hear that story and to know how I feel about music, you know, I can relate, you know what I'm saying? Because that first feeling I have in the butterflies in my stomach and seeing people in the crowd that I know and don't know, being the center of attention, and then coming out and then everybody is in awe, you know what I mean? Like that's just a feeling that it's a euphoria that you can't explain, but it's just something that you want to continuously be a part of. You know what I mean?
Extreme high.
Man.
I love it, man. So, as far as collaborations and everything like that, like, who is your favorite to collaborate with or to work with, you know?
My favorite person that I have worked with thus far, you saying?
Thus far. My
favorite person that I've worked with thus far, I gotta say my little bro. I gotta say Lil Scrappy. You know what I'm saying? That's the most favorite person I've worked with thus far, because like we just you know what I'm saying, it's family, you know what I'm saying? So when we in the studio, it's just like, you know, do you. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no pressure, just do you. So I like that.
That's what's up. The name Casino Roulette. We in the South, man. Where you get that name from?
Well, before God changed my life, I used to be heavy in the streets. And, you know, anybody that's heavy in the streets, there's always a dice game somewhere. You know what I mean? And I got real nice with the dice. I could shake you out your shoes, you know? So my man was like, yo, the way you play, you need to go to a casino, you know? And that name stuck in my head. And then I've always been a fan of Wesley Snipes. I always bet on black, you know, and you can only do that through a roulette table. So it just made me put them together, Casino Roulette.
That's dope. That's dope. Everybody has like a real dope origin story where they get their name from. So I'd love to ask that question, man.
Word.
Loving hip hop. What was that like? Like that whole experience, man? Because I try not to watch it too much. It's like, man, this is drama. You know what I'm saying?
And it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That experience, man. This experience it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? They say you want to make God laugh. Tell him your plans for your life. You know, and I had all types of plans of how I was going to make it on TV and how I was going to make it in the movies. But through tragedy, that became my triumph. You know, the accident is what got me on the show. You know, they wanted to tell my life, you know what I'm saying, from the perspective of the accident. So you could say it's a bad thing, but to me, it's been a blessing. So this experience of being on the show and being able to let people see me and know who I am, it's a blessing, man, you know? Mm-hmm. Though it's a lot of drama. You got to understand one thing about that show is that show, art imitates life, you know what I mean? And I'm very cautious and careful to make sure that I'm not involved in drama in my personal life as well as my professional life. So that's one thing you'll never have to worry about Casino being caught up being on Love and Hip Hop is the drama.
No doubt, no doubt. Let them know what it is.
You feel me?
So, I was reading over, you know, doing my research, reading your bio and everything, that a lot of your music is reflected from the life you live.
Right.
And your actual lifestyle, no fantasy stuff, reality rap. I loved it. I truly admired that about you.
Thank you, sir.
Especially being in hip hop, a lot of people get away from it. And you talk about all the stuff that you're really not supposed to be doing and it's glorified. And it's like, all right, well, okay. I understand talking about the lifestyle that you lived or what you see around you. So I truly admire that. But as you grow and progress, are you going to get away from more of the street things? You can talk about like the finer things of life, you know, being more calm. Is that where it's going?
I'm glad you asked that because that's where I'm at now. Since this accident, my life has transformed. My music has transformed because I came to the realization in order to get to where God wants me to go, I couldn't be the same person, so I had to transform. I started quantum jumping. I started unlocking my subconscious. I really started realizing who I am as an individual. And by me realizing who I am as an individual and my life change, it has to spill over into the music. And spilling over into the music, I'm touching on topics that I wish I would have touched on in my younger days, but like they say, with age comes wisdom, with wisdom comes understanding. So now that I'm older and I understand life a little bit better, it has to spill over into the music. And that's what it's doing now, such as with my single, I Surrender, Audemars and Scars, I'm a Star, you name it, PTSD, everything that done came out since the accident has been a transformation from where I was to where I'm at now.
Well, 2020 is right around the corner. What do you have planned for next year? That you can't tell me.
That I can tell you that I have planned for next year is we just went full force with my clothing line, Trauma Survivor. We're now doing, we started out with t-shirts, but we're now doing from the t-shirts, sweatshirts, beanies, handbags, pillows, leggings, jogging suits, you name it, we've ramped up the apparel. So for 2020, we're going to be coming a whole different way with the clothing line. For 2020, I'm putting out more content. What I've realized is that nowadays, people want to not just hear music, but they want to hear the music and see the content together. So coming into an understanding of that, I've ramped up production when it comes to creating content. So you're going to see a lot of content coming from me in 2020. You're going to see more of my apparel. You're going to hear more of my music. You're going to see me doing more television. I'm getting back into the movies. Getting ready to do another docu-series, Made Man 2, which is Made Man 1 is already on Amazon. So part 2 will definitely go on Amazon as well. So we just taking next year. The vision is clear now, 2020. The vision is so clear to the point to where not just me going up and not just my brother going up, but we bringing up the people around us as well. So just stay locked, stay loaded, stay ready. You know what I mean?
And that's the best way to do it, man. You can't come up without bringing the people with you.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the point?
Absolutely. There ain't no point.
Because when you fall, man, you can fall back down and they're going to be looking at you like, yep, should have brought us with you.
Right. So,
So,
or when you fall and they're going to push you on down because it ain't no love there no more anyway.
mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, that's what's up. So as far as Trauma Survivor, is it going towards, are you guys going to make it into a full nonprofit to help people that go through issues and everything like that?
I'm glad you asked that as well. From going through what I went through, I come to realize that not just, I suffer trauma on many different levels, from being incarcerated to being shot to being through this accident. So I've suffered trauma throughout my life in different stages. So what I come to the realization of understanding is that people suffer through trauma on a daily basis through different ways. So from that observation, I created Trauma TV. And what Trauma TV is that I have so many people reaching out to me after they seen my story and when they come across my story. So as they reach out to me, they also tell me their story. So in the midst of them telling me their story, you know, like, my heart is big, man. And when I hear somebody's problem, I just be wanting to, you know, empty my bank account and sometimes just give them my heart. You know what I'm saying? So being that type of person now is contrary to who I used to be. So doing that, I go and either we video or we allow them to video themselves and send it in to us and we edit it up and then put them on a segment of Trauma TV to help bring awareness to whatever illness they have or whatever illness or death or whatever type of traumatic situation they've been through, and just bring awareness, because I found that it's therapeutic when you talk about something that you're going through because somebody else may be going through it but don't have the courage to talk about it. So Trauma TV is something else too that we are in the works of doing. I've already started putting it up on online, you know, Facebook Watch and things of that nature, different episodes and different segments. So Trauma TV is what we started and what we're going to continue on into the 2020.
Oh man, that's very admirable of you.
Thank you.
Because it is hard to talk about things that bother you. Tell me about Hands On, man. Where'd you get the name from? How'd that come about?
All right. Hands On Entertainment, man. Anybody that knows me, man, like I'm self-sufficient. You know, like I do everything on my own. And in order for me to learn something, I have to be hands-on. So knowing the type of person that I am, that's where the label name comes from, hands-on, because I have to touch it all in order to get a better and a full understanding of what I'm doing.
I feel you. How many artists you got on the label?
Actually, it's just me. And my partner, Mac Lucci, you know, whenever he decides that he want to drop something with the label or whatever, but other than that, I'm looking for people, but this is my thing when it comes to looking for artists. I've been doing this all my life, almost as long as I learned how to ride a bike. So saying that to say, I'm looking for somebody that's dedicated, that's got dedication. And in this day and age, it's hard to find dedication. You know, I have my own company, courier service, outside of the music. It's hard for me to find employees to drive a van and just drop off packages. So when you talk about the music, a lot of people have the illusion of, I'm gonna drop a hit real quick and I'm gonna be viral tomorrow and have $1 million in my account next week. Don't work like that. For me, it took blood, sweat, tears, and years to get to where I'm at right now. Until an artist get that understanding today, then I won't have an artist on my label for a while, you know what I'm saying?
I feel but a lot of our predecessors before us, the road makers, they will say in their raps, you know what I'm saying, overnight is actually 10 years.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that, okay, well, you got some more years to go. They ain't saying that to say it. It just takes so long. Some people, you know, takes them a little shorter because they have a mentor help them do it. But, I mean, you got to get one name around the whole world.
It's a big world.
It's a big world. So,
and I just told you, I fell in love with this during New Edition and LL Cool J days, when they was on top. So imagine how long I've been honing my craft just to get to here now. You see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no overnight situation. It ain't no overnight celebrity. But the internet makes it seem as such. So people get that disconnect when it comes to the internet and reality. So until people get that back in their head that this is a grind, it takes blood, sweat, and years. It'll be a minute, you know?
I think you need to trademark that and make that on some shirts too. Go
Yeah.
ahead, because you got my gears turning. Blood, sweat, and years. You know? All right, use that in some rhymes.
You're right.
So, to caveat what we just spoke about, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming artist who wants to be the next big thing or who just wants to do this for a living?
My advice is to put God first. And if I'd have known then what I know now, I would have been put God in the mix because I'd be so far ahead, you know, but they say the lips of wisdom must close itself unto the years of understanding. So now that I know throughout the years of what I didn't know then, I'm in a better place, but I could be light years ahead if I'd have put God in it. So my advice to any artist up and coming, put God in it first. Because I failed as a rapper, but God elevated me as something so much more now. So put God in it.
No doubt.
I tell people, you know, I'm Job. You know, can't nobody tell me different. And when I say I'm Job, it's because, like, my faith in God is so big now, you know what I'm saying, to where you can't tell me no different, you know? And when I say I'm Job, it's because, man, look at what I've been through. Shot 6 times, opened up in front of the world. They saw the zipper down my chest. You know what I'm saying? But God allowed me to go through that just so he can restore me with so much more. But what I learned in the course of him restoring me is to stay humble, the humility. You know what I mean? That's what I was lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like I could rap. I've been knew how to rap. I've been knew famous people. I've been knew rich people. You know what I mean? But I was never humble enough to, man, I was, you know, God broke me. And that's what it takes in order to be great. You gotta be broke by God. You know what I mean? And now that God has broken me, man, I'm on my way, bro. My dreams are my reality now. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing in this world that man didn't put here And God didn't put here. God put everything that's green and water on this earth. You know what I mean? Man put everything else, such as cars, buildings, and structures. Saying that to say, the only way man can emulate God is through dreams, through the spirit. So my connection, the divine connection that God has given me now to be able to understand that I can bring anything from my dreams into my reality. Like I'm here, bruh, and I ain't gonna be gone for a long time. So people gonna get used to this voice. People gonna get used to my message and my lesson because God has shown me, bro. I'm bigger than rap. I'm deeper than rap. This is just the beginning. Loving hip hop, man. Where do you see the movie?
So no homo, but I noticed that you beefy though. Like you built. Is it a therapeutic thing, or is it just something that you are? Like it's how you was born. You're just born a muscle. So.
I appreciate that, brother, because I haven't worked out in 2 years since this accident. You know, prior to the accident, I was Scrap's physical trainer. You know, I used to work out, you know what I mean? And I got shot 6 times close range. Somebody walked up to my car and shot me 6 times, and I was able to live from that. So I was rocked up. After the accident, I got rocked back up again. You know what I mean? So this right here, this is just regular tone after the accident, you know? So
you the person that got Scrappy all beefed up like that?
Yeah, that's my work.
Okay. That's all before and after. I'm like, whoa!
I remember the first time I met T.I. and T.I. and Jamie Foxx when they was shooting that movie, when T.I. had his restaurant. We went into the restaurant and Scrap used to tell me all the time, like, bro, you need to bring better shirts, man. Cause I used to always have a tank top. So soon as we walked in, the first thing T.I. said, who the big nigga? You know what I'm saying? And then Jamie Foxx looked like, who this nigga? And then Scrap like, yeah, that's my bro, man. He the one working me out. You're like, oh shit, I see why now you ain't little Scrappy no more. You know, so yeah, that's me, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. In the future, going through everything else now that you've been through, that terrible accident, I'm actually glad that you made it through. The life lessons, through your new endeavor with the Trauma Survivor, with hands-on entertainment, are you going more towards a mobile thing, or is it kind of like a day-by-day, we'll see what happens, I'm just living my best life?
Oh no, all this is planned. You know what I mean? Like, this is all part of my strategy. Mogul, yes, absolutely. Like I say, I got businesses outside of music. So none of this is by accident, you know. I'm doing all this because when we had the accident, I was working. I was working for a corporation. I was working for Adidas. When I went into the coma, they fired me. What I realized right then was that I gotta make my bed. You know what I mean? Because I got my son, my daughter, I got kids that's coming up after me, and they got kids that's coming up after them. Life lesson is, I don't want them to go through what I went through. So everything that I'm creating all this and packaging it up. So when I'm dead and gone, they got something. You know what I mean?
Generational wealth, generational money.
Absolutely.
Teach them a lesson and to feed the fish. Feed
Absolutely.
the man fish. And teach a man to fish.
Instead of giving them a fish to eat.
I got you, man.
Yes, sir.
Casino Roulette. Who's your top 5 dead or alive?
Top 5 dead or alive. That's an easy one. Number 1, Tupac Shakur. Number 2, Biggie Smalls. Number 3, I'm gonna give my number 3, I'm gonna give it to Jay just off of his accomplishments. Number 4, I'm gonna give it to Nas, period. Number 5, gotta give it to Rick Ross.
Why Ross though? Why Ross?
You know what? The reason why I say Ross is because he's great. You know what I mean? When it comes to putting lyrics together, he's great when it comes to his business a coon, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at overall greatness. I got to round it out with number 5 with Ross. I would have said T.I. though, you know what I mean? And the reason why I would have said T.I. just because he's smooth when it comes to the lyrics. He's smooth with them, you know, so I would have gave it the tip. And just off of, you know, overall cool dude, you know, persona, I'd have gave it to him, but you gotta give it to Ross.
Gotcha. So that's pretty much it. Yo, I appreciate you so much for being on the Sinewave TV. And we're gonna get this out to the rest of the world, my guy.
Appreciate you, homie.
Oh, no doubt.
CA $ 2020 vision. Stay locked, stay loaded, stay ready. Trauma survive.
Started out young, ended up old. Man, I'm wondering where the time goes. Foreign cars for that bag, I never sell my soul. Drunken visions as I spit these memories of gold. Captain of my own ship, it's time I take control. Excuses made for losers, we ain't never lost a vote. Praying I stay up.